My name's Lorraine de Kluver. It's a little bit more than a hobby, it's a sort of passion that I do outside of work hours. And what I'm currently doing, I'm author and illustrator for storybooks that I'm doing, and they're being published by Ali's Books. My brother and I had to leave school early. But that doesn't mean, I'd like to say to teenagers out there that if, school mightn't interest you or things like that, but not to be afraid or put yourself down that you are leaving early, because a lot of things through your life do open up to you. My mother died when I was 5 years.
That's very traumatic.
It is, it is, and I'm not the only one. There's thousands and thousands of others. But, I can say that the pain, well, really the pain never goes, it's always there. But you learn to manage the pain. But moving on from that, going back to drawing was what came naturally to me for some reason. Drawing began with me at a very early age. It was something that many people would go to for comfort, for whatever. And for me, it helped me to get through things, to sort of...
Like a therapy?
Yeah. I was shifting from pillar to post, family to family, until eventually I was brought up by a foster home that was run by the Anglican Church.
So were you orphaned?
No, but my mother died, but my father. Back then, you've got to remember, men didn't get a pension or any money.
So they were busy working and everything.
They had to be.
And they couldn't look after the kids.
No, that's how it was. Oh, look, to be truthful, it wasn't okay. It wasn't okay. There were different times, very heavy discipline. I mean, I can remember the first...
wasn't a foster family, it was like an orphanage?
It was a foster family that took in other families, but it was run by the Anglican Church. I was becoming rebellious. I just wasn't, as I said in the book, I wasn't playing the game, and I had no fear. So... Did you get into trouble? Yeah, I ended up having to go to Bundoora Children's Psych Centre, to try and find ways of, because I had bottomless hate. I think it all reduced for me because I couldn't wait to leave home. And when I became a nurse, and part of that years ago, you went into a nurse's quarters. So I was actually my own person away from home, where I was very unhappy. And so I was making my own decisions and things like that.
And you felt comfortable?
I think that's when it all left me.
So how old would you have been?
I was 17. I was willing to listen. I think I was probably more adult than probably some nurses that had started that time. And, coming across death and things, I'd already been through it. And then after a while, I was a person that sort of liked challenges, so then I would go and nurse kids at the Royal Children's Hospital. Then the Queen Victoria is no longer around. But I always sort of wanted to, I've done this, I've done that, I'll try that. And
explorer, you're an explorer.
Yeah, but nursing does that to you. You are expected to, really. To be a general nurse back in those days, you were expected to try different things. It was only later, I always scribbled, I always wrote things, but nothing of any great consequence. But as I got older, I tended to write a bit more. The story came out, and then, I'd sort of start writing it. And can I say to teenagers and anybody that's writing, you will go through periods of thinking, what the hell am I doing this? I'm wasting time. This is stupid. I should be doing this, or I should be doing that. I'm wasting time. But like drawing and writing, you can get lost in it. If you really enjoy it and enjoy what you're doing, you get lost. I think most of all, don't be yourself. Be yourself, don't try to be anything else. People will see through it. But try and find happiness in being yourself.
So my name is Hope and I am 17 years old. I started netball first. That was my first proper sport that I stuck with for a long period of time. So I was pretty young and I started with my best friend. That's how I got into it. And I didn't really know what netball was all about. I actually thought there was like a net. I thought it was volleyball because it had netball in the name. And so I didn't really know what it was about. And then I played a season with my best friend and then moved up into one of the higher ranking and kept playing until I was, until last year, so until I was 16. And yeah, that was really fun. We won the premiership, I think, 2 years in a row. So we did really well and it was a really fun thing to do, and like our team bonded really well together. So I started ballet. Of course, all little mums want their little girls to do ballet. So I started ballet when I was, I think, maybe 7 or 8 or something, and I just did little ballet concerts here and there with, I think it's called Callister Dance Academy. And I did that for 2 years, and then I kind of was like, oh, Mum, you're the one who wants me to dance. I don't really want to dance all that much. And that was just ballet, and I also did that with another close friend, and that, you know, motivated me to go. And then 2015, so 2 years ago, I decided, oh, maybe I'll try dancing again. And I went to the Young Australian Broadway Chorus, which is where you dance, sing and act like you do a Broadway show.
What sort of dancing is your favourite, or what do they sort of concentrate on there?
Yeah, they did a lot of jazz dancing and they did tap as well, obviously. I think I've never tried it, but I really love the look of contemporary dancing, and I've seen, one of my close friends is a dancer, and I've seen her dance and it looks really beautiful. I think that would be really fun to try, but I think my favourite was probably jazz. I like to dance, not necessarily great at it, but I do enjoy dancing. That's good. So I really love the AFL and I follow Hawthorn for the win. And so one of my biggest idols is Luke Hodge, who was the captain of Hawthorn, who isn't this year, but was the captain from 2009 onwards, I believe. So he's been a really big idol. He inspires me a lot when I see him play. He, you know, I always thought I was going to marry him when I was younger. But I would actually say, this is a little bit different, I would say, but one of my best friends is a really amazing dancer, and I've seen all of her dance performances. And yeah, I'd say she's probably my biggest inspiration in dancing. Sheridan Mercer is her name. And yeah, she is such an amazing dancer. And for someone who isn't, you know, professional yet, she's amazing at what she does, and I'd say she's probably my biggest inspiration.
So bullying and insecurity, is that not happened to you, or in your school, or what?
Yeah, well, it's not actually, luckily, it's not so prevalent in my school. I feel like my school community is really a really good vibe and everything. So that's been really good. But of course, you know, there's always bits where you feel a bit insecure and someone could make a joke that they don't think is being harmful, but to you it's like, oh my goodness, I didn't realise that anyone, you know, thought like that, or I'm really self-conscious, I don't want you to mention that, and things like that. And I feel like everyone goes through that. Yeah, being insecure about your body, being insecure when people, you know, point things out in not necessarily a bullying manner, but even if just, you know, pointing things out that you would rather they don't point out, can always lead to your insecurities. And I know personally I struggled with my skin a lot when I was younger, and I was always really self-conscious when people would point it out, and it would be a big point of insecurity for me.
Did you have an issue with the acne?
Yeah, with
and
acne,
things?
yeah, had really struggled with my skin a lot. And yeah, I started eating a lot healthier, exercising, you know, making sure that everything was all right on the inside though, so that it showed on the outside. And so that was how I overcame it. But while I wasn't able to overcome it, or while I was in the process of, I didn't really like it when people would point it out to me. At the end of the day, if you're doing something that you don't want to do really, then you're not going to be happy. Whereas if I'm doing what I love and I don't ever, you know, if I don't get there, it's okay because I'll be doing what I love.
Teen Talk is a contemporary show that discusses the daily lives of teenagers, featuring teens telling their stories. Stories of hope, coping, triumph, success. As you know, running a cause is not cheap. We need your support to help these teens. Donations to our cause can help fund film production, crew, equipment, broadcasting, internet, host functions, events, gifts and prizes. Your donations won't just help fund our cause, but help kids and teens around Australia. You can help make a difference. Help us help youth by making a difference. Be the change you wish to see in the world. Gandhi. teentalkproduction.com.au. Your donations won't just help fund our cause, but help kids and teens around Australia.